Well, hello, and welcome back to another fine episode, scary episode of Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your host, Stephen LaBooth, and I've got some creepy stuff for you today, ladies and gents. Alright, I'll quit being a ding dong. Just want to say hey. So, how is everybody? Glad you hung out. Glad you understood last week about my nephew passing, and I didn't really have a whole lot, but I've got some good stuff for you today. Don't worry. Just want to say thank you guys for listening and subscribing and loving the show, man. I love doing it. I was just bummed out last week, man. He was a kid. He died at 24, and it kind of hit us all hard, you know. He was a kid, so. But I'm mending. I'm doing good. But just want to say thank you to everybody for your patience and all that. But I'm back, ready to do some fine episodes with you today, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. Since, I live here in Texas. I live like an hour west of Fort Worth. And it's hot as hell here. It's getting up to 106. It's been ranging anywhere from 105 to 107. And they're calling in August for 110, a couple weeks of 110. So, and I noticed everywhere else around the United States, it's getting pretty fucking hot too. And we're going through a goddamn drought. Everything's drying up too down here. So I figured we would do some haunted deserts or some spooky deserts around the world, So it was kind of weird. There wasn't a whole lot of like haunted deserts. But I just looked in the United States. I only got one in Mexico. But I got some good stuff today. Well, I won't stop rambling. And without further ado, we'll get on with the first story here. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? So remember, sit back, relax, get a blanket, snuggle up by the fire, or by the TV or whatever. Get you some hot cocoa or some coffee. Sit back and relax, because I'm going to scare you. Alright. Okay, our first place we're going to cover is the haunted Anaza Burrigo Desert. And this is, I believe in... anyways, it should tell. I was trying to remember, but I couldn't. Oh, I gotta get my reading specs on. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, and you guys on, listen to the audio part of this, don't forget now, there's a YouTube channel too I do. Look for it, called Ghost Stories Told from the South. You can see me switch out my reading glasses like an old man. Alright. Oh, that's better. Okay, the first story of this haunted place is the White Horse Ghost of Valesto. Valesto is famous for its ghost. First history contains many murders, deaths, robberies, and other wicked tales. One well-known story involves a double murder of Valesto Station. It all started with a stage holdup that yielded $65,000 worth of loot to four men on horseback, who robbed the eastbound stage before it reached Carrizo Wash en route to Valesto Station. As the men fled the scene, the driver of the stagecoach fired one shot, killing one of the four men. When he reached the thief he had shot, he found not one but two dead bodies. The driver included that the leader of the band of thieves had shot one of his own men so he would not have to divide up the loot. The bandit leader and the other thieves survived the robbery and rode on to rest at Vallecito station. Shortly before they arrived at the station, they had buried the loot in some nearby hills and rode into the station for a drink and some food. It is said that the two bandits were arguing while having a drink in the station. One of the bandits, the leader, went outside to check his horse, promising to continue the discussion. When he returned, he did return to the station, entering through the doorway, mounted on his his big white horse, and shot his companion. Oh, so he went outside, mounted his horse, and got in the doorway, mounted on his horse, and shot the guy. Wow. That's fucking, that's pretty ballsy, man. It's like, hey, I'm going to shoot you, but not only am I going to shoot you and kill you, I'm going to jump on my horse and walk this son of a gun into this saloon, and I'm going to kill you. What do you say to them apples? Sorry. Sometimes I feel like my glasses are crooked. I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I'm crooked. As the wounded bandit was dying, he drew his gun and fired back at the leader, killing him dead from the back of his brave white mount. The white horse, spooked by the gunfire and death of his master, ran off into the hills. It is said that when someone is in the valley around midnight near the location where the bandits buried their loot, the ghost of the white horse will appear from out of nowhere, galloping through the sand and then disappearing without a trace. Wow. See, that's pretty cool right there too, man. I like stories like that. But that makes you wonder sometimes, like these people's loot, it never got never got it back, so it's still buried wherever it was buried, and no telling where it is now, because the earth changes some, the landscape changes, and that just always makes me wonder how much loot's buried out there. All right, now we're going to talk about the Phantom Stagecoach of Carrizo. Not far from Valesto is Carrizo Wash, where there we go. I'm going to set up and read this a little. So if I'm a little too close to the camera, I'm a little sorry. But I don't think I'm that bad. Okay, not far from Valesto is Carrizo Wash, where the Phantom stage forgives its way through the deep sand, pulled by a team of 4 mules on moonlit nights. So you can see this Phantom Stagecoach on moonlit nights, they say. The Phantom Stagecoach is driven by a lone driver hitched over his that don't make any sense. It's a lone driver hunched over as if he was asleep. No passengers are seen on the stagecoach when it passes through Carrizo Wash, hesitating for only a minute, as if planning to stop at the place where the Carrizo station once stood. But now only a pile of mud. The Phantom stage continues to pass the old station until out of sight. In the morning, one may think twice about actually seeing the Phantom Stagecoach until he sees the ruts covered from the wagon wheels and hoof prints left behind from the ghostly stagecoach that travels by one occasion if it's kept to the trail alive. That's pretty cool, man. I mean, not only are you going to question yourself and be like, did I just see what I think I did? And then you go outside and there's freaking hoof prints in the road. See, shit like that makes me think, man. You know, it's just there's just some stuff out there that science cannot explain. You can't explain every bump in the night. It ain't over yet. Oh, there is another story that consists of with the Phantom Stagecoach in the 1860s, before the stage line closed. A special stage set out from the El Paso, headed for San Diego with a box of coins. The stage that carried the coins had one driver and a guard. When the stage reached Yuma, Arizona, the guard fell ill and the driver continued on without him. That same stage was held up by robbers somewhere in the area where the route goes into Carrizo Wash between the Fish and Coyote Mountains. The driver was shot during the robbery, and the thieves stashed the coins in the south slope of the Fish Mountain. Coins remain there still to this day. They say because there were too many soldiers passing by on trail. It is said that after the robbery, the Dead River in the stage continued through Carrizo towards Valesto Station, but the station disappeared, never to be seen again. Oh, but the stage disappeared. Oh, I see what it's saying. That's crazy, man. To see something like that. I mean, it's one thing to see a ghost, but see like a big old apparition of a horse in an actual stagecoach pulling something, that would be crazy. All right, now we got the ghost lights of Burrigo. Okay, this is about the state park. Here we go. Okay, first accounts of the phantom lights of Burrigo was reported in 1858 by Butterfield stage driver. Since the soldiers, prospectors, and explorers have reported seeing similar lights, the sightings have been reported near Arflamia Mountains, over the Burrigo Valley, and the other nearby areas. The occurrences are always slightly different, but the general description of the lights are the same. In 1892, a prospector by the name of Charles Knowles and two other men were camping near Grapevine Canyon at the entrance of the Narrows, where they reported their seeing of fireballs. Nolans described the lights as balls of fire that rose up apparently 150 feet in the air and then exploded. And he compared the fireballs to fireworks. He saw 3 fireballs and they went up in the air and exploded. Before they stopped, about 30 minutes later, the lights started again, but this time they were different. The lights rose into an arch pattern, returning to the ground without exploding. The light would then reverse itself and go back to the place where it started. That would be some wild shit right there. Scientists have tried to determine an explanation for these ghost lights. One scientist suggests that the wind blows against quartz outcropping static electricity is created, which could look like bright lights or sparks in the dark at night. Some believe that the lights are signals used by bootleggers during the prohibition of the U.S. immigration for smuggling operations related to the Mexican border. The only problem with these two explanations is that sightings have been going on long before or after the time constricted by the events described above. So basically, what they're saying there is that these lights have been reported way before prohibition was ever thought of. Okay. Here's another explanation. Another explanation is that the fireballs indicate the location of buried treasures. There are stories that support this later theory of buried treasures. One of these stories tells of a young man who found many gold nuggets in a gully within the Alflamia within the mountains. And another man by the name of George Benton found a boulder or a rock weighing a ton that contained gold he found in the boulder in the same mountains. Pretty wild stuff, man. Got some more stories to talk about. This one is the 8-foot skeleton. If you find yourself out late in the desert night, somewhere between superstitious mountains and 17 palms, you may see the apparition of an 8-foot skeleton with a lantern in his chest. A prospector by the name of Charlie, Arizona, first saw the ghost about 4 miles southeast of Burrigo. It was a dark night. And he had already set up camp and was setting down for the night. Not long after Charlie turned in for the night, something disturbed his burrows, and he went to investigate. Suddenly, he saw a large human skeleton with a lantern light shining through its ribs. The skeleton walked in a crazy fashion, and it was looking for something, or as if it was lost. Shortly after, Charlie sighted the skeleton. It disappeared over a small ridge. About 2 years later, two prospectors had a similar experience while camping in the superstitious mountains. They caught sight of a flickering light in the distance and wondered what it was. It quickly disappeared. One of the prospectors thought it looked like a skeleton carrying a lantern, but they figured it was the fire reflecting off the rock. The two prospectors didn't do much of the innocent until a year later, when a traveler came into the Valesto station with the tale of a skeleton he saw wandering in the desert carrying a lantern. It wasn't long before news of the skeleton got around, and two adventurers went into the desert to search for the legendary skeleton ghost. During their third night in the desert, they encountered the ghostly lit skeleton. One of the men shot at it with a gun, but the skeleton continued on unfazed by the gunfire. The two men followed the skeleton for 3 miles as if it wandered and stranged around, and just like it was looking for something. Then they lost it over the ridges through the valleys before they lost track of it completely. Many believe that the skeleton is the ghost of a prospector who discovered and worked the phantom mine, which has been lost for many years. The skeleton is no better off than the rest of us. For he too continues to search for the lost phantom mine, wandering the dark deserts nights looking for his final resting place. Yabba gabba. Alright, I'm going to take a quick little break, and we will be right back, guys, to tell some more stories. Well, how's everybody
everybody doing today? This is good old friend Uncle Dickie from Borderline Texas Trash, the most popular podcast in the world today. It's climbing up the charts faster than freaking slime on a stein, baby. Well, if you're wondering, what the hell is Borderline Texas Trash about? And who is its son bitch Uncle Boo? Well, Uncle Boo is the most recognizable voice in podcasting today, babies. We gonna get funky like a monkey on some turnip greens. I'm coming in on white lightning, baby, on a silver saddle to bring you the best of Borderline Texas Trash, baby. I'm your host of the show, Uncle Boo. We go over everything. We do a little bit of politics at the end, but not much. I don't step into that bullshit a whole lot. But we have fun. I go over stupid world news of the day, talk about stuff from the past, what the cost of living or stuff was like that. And we just talk about all sorts of fucking fun facts, do a little joking around. And my niece joins the show sometimes. We do a little segment called Ash Handy's Garage on Friday nights, baby. That's our live show we do sometimes. And then I got the uncle that I talk to down in Boothville, Louisiana. And he calls sometimes. We have a little show called Uncle Dickie's Corner. So you guys come check out Texas Borderline Texas Trash, baby. I know you will love it. We are on every platform you can think of. Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeart. We're on everything. We're even on Podbean, man. We even got our own YouTube channel. We even got an Instagram account, and we got our Facebook account. So go check us out, man, and come listen to the show. You'll get to listen to Ash Handy, Uncle Boo, Uncle Dickie, and all the most recognizable voices in this motherfucking podcast in the world today, babies. Because we will get funky like a monkey, I guarantee it. Let's just say, baby, I've wined and dined with kings and queens, slept in dumpsters, ate pork and beans, baby. But I am your host of the show, Uncle Boo, Borderline Texas Trash. Don't forget about it. If you want to listen to a show to just get your mind off this crazy world and all the COVID and politics bullshit, come check my show out. Come check me and my crazy family out. Some of the shit we do live shows from the barbecue. So I'll see you later. Bye.
Hello. Sorry for that slurping. I just took a big old drink. All right. Our next story is the ghost dancer of Yaga Well. Not far from the Phantom Mine lies another place where skeletons have been seen. During the warm summer nights when the moon is full, ghosts dance at Yaga Well. The ghosts are said to be the spirits of 3 immigrants who were traveling from Yuma to California in search of a shorter route through the desert. The immigrants arrived at Yaga Well exhausted and near death from lack of food and water. One of the 3 travelers drank from the well as much water as he could hold. He died shortly thereafter. The 2 men also drank from the well but survived. While moving their decomposing bodies, the other 2 noticed some rock specimens that fell out of his pockets. The 2 men were excited to discover the rocks contained gold, but they did not know where the friend had found the samples. The 2 men became very excited about the gold, and excited soon turned into a frenzy of killing each other. No, I'm just kidding. Of greed and distrust. The 2 men began to struggle until one finally drowned the other in the muddy water of the Yaga Well. An Indian watched these events unfold from a nearby hill. The Indian felt it was safe to talk to the one man who had survived, but the immigrant was still so excited as he described his story to the Indian. He entered a state of frenzy and ran off into the desert yelling, "Gold! Gold!" It is during the hot summer nights of a full moon that three immigrants return to the Yaga well. One rises out of the muddy waters of the Yaga well. One emerges from the bushes nearby, and the third arrives in a cool breeze out of the wash. The ghosts join hands and circle Yaga well in a dance. Soon after the twirling begins, they disappear, leaving only the good waters of the well and a slight chill in the air. That's some creepy fucking shit. I don't think I want to go see that well. Here's the Valesto station. I don't know why this is starting out. Oh, okay. The most well-known ghost story. That's kind of funny. We just got through talking about the best well-known. The best well-known ghost story of Valesto is about the lady in white. Oh my God, another freaking lady in white. Come on, man. I mean, if you're gonna be a ghost after you die or something, could y'all please at least be another different color of lady? The lady in black, the lady in yellow, the lady in blue, but it's always a lady in white. I guess because death is just so dark and white and gray. I don't know. Okay, Lady in White. Late in the 1850s, a young girl from the east arrived by stagecoach at Valesto. She was on her way to Sacramento to meet her lover. He had struck it rich in the diggings. She was a frail young woman, worn with hardship of travel and ill from improper food, and doubtful water. She was carried from the couch and put to bed in the back bedroom and given the best care available. But nothing could save her, and her fight was a losing one. I'm sorry about that. It was a losing one. Her journey came to an end in the dark bedroom of Valesto Station, or Valesto Stage Station. Her baggage was examined, and a brand new white dress was found in it. It was decorated with lace, swern, it had lace, and it had with a fine, and it was done with a fine seam too. And it was to have been her wedding dress. They dressed her in the dress, buried her in the Campo Santo, a few hundred feet east of the station. They thought they had put her to rest, but on moonlit nights. Why is it moonlit nights? On moonlit nights, she has been seen down through the years, walking restlessly about the station. She harms no one, but her presence is disturbing even through most people that see her. Even the non-believers are like, "Oh God, that's a ghost." And that's it for that area. That area, I think, was covering a lot of Arizona. I think Arizona or Nevada, somewhere around there. I think, I'm not for sure. All right, I got a couple more. Now, this is about, I believe this is all Arizona. All right. Yes, this is Tombstone, Arizona. Well, Arizona. Okay, we're going to start out in Arizona with the Dragon Mountains. Between the Dragons and the town of Wilcox, Arizona, a phantom train makes its track across the plains. The phantom locomotive has been both seen and heard by scores of people throughout the years. See, that would be cool too, man. I've only seen that in movies. That'd be like crazy as shit to see that in real life. Trouble is, there never was a train that ran its parts, and there is no track. It is known as the Phantom Train of Dragon. Dragon. Why am I saying that like that? Dragon, not dragon. Wow, that's crazy. So, that Dragon Mountains has a phantom ghost train, and nobody knows why. Oh, God. Okay, cool. Here we got the legend of the lady in blue, not white. What was that? Okay, here we go. The legend of the lady in blue. Of all the tales of lost treasures, ghosts, and unexpected lights and apparitions, spirit horses, and unsolved mysteries and disappearances across the Southwest, the legend of Maria Jose de Agorido, the fabled lady in blue or blue nun, seriously ranks among the most coveted in her country's province of Suara. She nevertheless reported traveled by spirit, a phantom called biologic location or teleportation by the church, to minister to Indians in Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas. She felt an enduring mark on the folklore of the desert. So she haunts the desert because she was basically she was a nun, I take it, and working at a mission, and trying to turn the Indians into Christians, which they shouldn't have done. But anyways, that's for another podcast. All right, now I got the Bisbee place. It is located in the copper mining town of Bisbee. Duh. The Clausen House Inn claims for ghosts. Mrs. Clausen is said to haunt the grounds, as well as 3 miners who were murdered at the small town in the 1890s. Besides the Clausen's ghost, the Oliver House bed and breakfast is the residence of 5 spirits. Originally, the main office is a building. What are y'all doing? Stop it. Quit. Missy. Sorry, guys. Where was I? Clausen Oliver House bed and breakfast. 5 spirits. Originally a mine office. This building became a boarding house in colorful history of the town. So if you're ever there in Bisbee, go check out them places. Here we have Jeremy, Arizona. There is a good reason that Jeremy is known as a ghost town. A number of buildings in the town are haunted. So if you are up for a day of ghost haunting, this is where you need to go. The United Verda Hospital on Cypress Hill is loaded with apparitions and unexpected noises. Moans and other frightening sounds reverb through the hallways, and ghostly figures float through the corridors. Philip Dodge Mine near Jeremiah State Historical Park is home to Headless Charles, the ghost of a miner who apparently lost his head. The community center has so many ghosts that is locally known as Spook Hall. The old company clinic house is the ghost of a former patients, doctors, and nurses. And often just around dusk, a phantom spirit as seen standing in the doorway of the old church. And this is in Phoenix. In 1928, a 22-year-old Leon Jensen, distraught over the broken love affair, jumped to her death from the roof of the new St. Carlos Hotel at North Central Avenue. Her white floating. Oh, her. Do what now? Her white floating. Okay. They say she jumped to her death after that because of her boyfriend dumped her basically, and she jumped. And they say she still haunts the location. And the sounds of laughing children come from the within the rooms too. And they say a lot of it's unexplained and stuff. There've been reports of like that and kids dying there, so it makes a lot of sense there, fellies. And then we got Separation Mountain, the most famous Lost Dutchman's Mine. I know everyone's had to hear about that. There's a lot of spooky stuff covering that thing. That'd be a good thing to cover. Of the Lost Dutchman's Mine is countless stories and legends of not only prospectors searching for gold, but the early Spanish explorers, Mexicans in the quest for treasures of the Thunder God. Their apparitions say lives in a cave of gold. More than 75 people have lost their lives searching for the Lost Dutchman's Mine. Through the years, some of them tragically are involving murder. Ghosts are bound in the suspicions too. So if you want to go around there, you go to Suspicious Mountains. I know I've kind of heard about them. They got a lot of cool stories and historical stuff there. Pretty cool place to check out. I never checked it out, but I've done some reading and stuff on it. Pretty cool place. The Riolette in Nevada. The ghost of Tom Kelly has been in the bottle house of the once Persepious mining town turned ghost town, Rowlett, Nevada. Several other spooks make their presence known here at times, especially around the empty vault at the old ruins of the Cook Bank building. Rowlett is apparently 85 miles northwest of Las Vegas. And it's an old mining town, so they're going to have a butt ton of hauntings there. A buttload. All right, guys, we got one more story. This is called the Mapia Silent Zone, and this is in Mexico. And it's also known as the La Zona del Salarizo in the Sea of Thetis. The Silent Zone is a stretch of desert in Durango, Mexico, with an endemic reputation, similar to the Bermuda Triangle. The Silent Zone is known for strange phenomena, including radio malfunctions, mutilated wildlife, meteor impacts, and reports of externally activities. The alien visitors are described as tall and blonde-haired. When encountered, they supposedly ask for water and flurry Spanish, then they disappear without a trace. The Silent Zone is known as a hotbed of UFO activity. The reports of flying figures, fireballs, and spheres of glowing light. The zone earned its name in the 1960s when oil company Pemex found a scouting expedition. They funded a scouting expedition. The oil company's team was experienced constant radio problems and equipment malfunctions, leading them to dub the area the Zone of Silence. It has remained a curiously. It is okay. Okay. It is been kind of it wasn't really in the main news or anything until 1970 when a United States rocket crashed in the zone, and famed rocket scientist von Brunner led the investigation and recovering the efforts. The incident stoked interest in the silent zone and led the Mexican government to establish the MIPT biosearch research and stuff around there. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of like Mexico's version of the Bermuda Triangle. And sorry if I butchered some of them stories up tonight, guys. I was trying really hard. No, but that's it for tonight, guys. I want to thank you for listening again. Sorry I'm late. I was just busy the other day. I had research ready to go, but I was just very, very busy. But I'm glad you guys stuck around. Glad you guys were here to listen with me and have some fun and get a little scared. But I'm going to get out of here. It is late. I still got to edit this and get it ready to put on for you guys. Don't forget on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You do the same thing. Listen to the auto part of this, guys. Don't forget we're on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. Go to our Facebook page, Ghost Stories Told from the South. I want to say thank you again to everybody. My numbers are getting bigger and bigger. It's just like a slow snowball going down a hill. It's just gathering speed, and I love it, guys. So keep it up. Like I said, this is another